from 2005 to 2012, there was a special study called the Council for Asian Terrorism Study.
Yes.
The Burma doesn't have basically the terrorism, but Burma has ethnic conflicts. Political conflicts is also a very important issue. So
Yes.
because of that task, I invited a lot of Washington and US-based Burmese experts and to explain and then to offer their views. And some of them were very hardworking to improve the situation on the Rohingya and all this situation.
I
and,
see. You met most of they are from Rohingya or anybody else?
No, these are the Burmese citizens, not the Rohingya, but they are very much concerned about the military dictatorship. And also they are the very established scholars and the researchers, and many of them living in the US or Thailand. No, basically, I think the Burma has been a very disappointing case.
Yes.
Aung San Suu Kyi, everybody supported and then really expecting, but obviously long-term residing military system is not easy to get rid of it. So now the Burma almost went back to the past.
They returned back to military path, right?
Right. Yeah. And for me, I would like to visit every South Asia, Southeast Asian countries, because if you are being there, field experience is very different.
Have you never been to Burma?
No, I refuse to go there.
I see.
Because I don't respect the regime.
They did not. They even allow you, or
no, it's not allow me. I mean, I even know the U.S. ambassador to Burma.
I see.
Yeah, the first ambassador appointed by Hillary Clinton, but I didn't want to go because of I didn't respect the government. I didn't respect the dictatorship, and
yes,
I do not want to support the Burmese economy, spending money there.
I mean, many of strong political analysis and intellectual, they did not allow them if they criticize military. So that is the case.
No, when the ambassador was there as the first ambassador of US after the normalization, he asked me to come, and I was very much interested in going with a couple of my good friends. But then when I saw the development of Rohingya and all this massacre and the genocide and all these things, I said, I don't want to go. I didn't go.
It's fine. I saw your background. You are very, I can say you are also very liberal ideology minded.
I am a Democrat.
Compared to most Asian, among Asian, even democracy, that is the case in Burma. You may see in my presentation in previous YouTube, there was a very different ideology. Even many democracy activists, among them, there still remain a lot of leftist ideology. Even they don't know they are leftist or they are not leftist. They don't know.
That. Yeah, I know.
If you study political ideology, if you digest very well, we can distinguish, who are leftist and who are liberal minded. So I analyze and I point out Burmese regime, each regime. So only among Burmese regime, Suu Kyi is the only one I can say she is liberal ideology minded person. Even there are previous democratic leaders, but they are still leftist ideology. They based on socialist economy and socialism. Even they support democracy. They doing democracy movement, but their ideology is still leftist. So these are different in Burma.
Right. But how come the Aung San Suu Kyi that didn't do anything for the against the Buddhist killing Rohingya?
Aung San Suu Kyi position on Rohingya is a little bit, complicated and a little bit difficult to understand in my analysis, because her real intention is not to ignore Rohingya, but why she is, transition democracy period, she are leaning with military to cooperate and to persuade them to bigger role for transition. So it seems she little bit ignored Rohingya, but after she able to bring the military and consolidated democracy, I guess she will be going to do Rohingya case completely. She has such kind of plan, I guess, because she has liberal-minded. She cannot ignore Rohingya. But for the meantime, she did not openly bullying. She did not did that is right.
Anyway, Burma is very sad these days. Very sad.
Yes, unfortunately, because Suu Kyi was unable to consolidate the democracy.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough because you have to deal with the military machine.
And her party, as I told you, her NLD party, even she herself is liberal-minded person, but her members, they are not, they are not fulfilled, complete 100% backing or supporting her.
Yeah.
Among NLD member, her party member, many of them are leaning with military and they are, interchangeable with military. That may be very difficult for Suu Kyi because she has to manage her position and also she has to deal with military. Even her close member, her own party, I believe many of them are unfaithful with Suu Kyi. So maybe Suu Kyi may not know, or she may know, or she may not know. Many of them unfaithful. So
yeah,
this tragedy was happened.
Yeah, yeah. No, I always say that in Asian society, when the bad regime ruled, if they rule 40 years, you need 80 years to clean up.
Yes.
Double time.
Yes.
So it was a market opening, a little liberalization, and then the power sharing, all great idea. But at the end, the military took the position again and killed so many innocent demonstrators. So Burma is really in very bad situation today.
So what is your suggestion? Which direction will be, which a policy will be, it can be survival for Burmese to promote democracy. I mean, to go back to the democracy direction.
Unlike 90s and 2000, when America was very much interested in promoting democracy in all over the world, supporting them and then giving them aid and then setting up the diplomacy and all these things, it's no longer is not very much a keen interest of America at all, simply because America was ruled by a very bad president for 4 years, and American society is divided. And Biden is a senior gentleman, and his energy is limited. He has to improve the social conflict inside the U.S. And then on top of that, right now the war in Ukraine. So any issues like North Korea, Burma, Syria, Afghanistan in olden days, there were very key issues. We try to help them. We try to promote the education, women's liberation, and then democracy. But right now, if you say to the American government, we really should have a long-term strategy to help Burmese to establish the democracy, they may well look at me like, what are you talking about? But this is truth because of every politics, domestic politics is important. Your energy is limited. And now America is pouring money to Ukraine, billions of dollars. They requested a lot of money, and it's important to help them. But I think
more serious.
Yeah, but I think I same thing. North Korea. How do we change them? And I'm working very hard, but it is not an easy job. And but at least though, if you have like-minded colleagues and partners, like Burmese people living overseas, like you, America, Europe, and you have some kind of like a global network of Burmese for democracy, Burmese for the better society. And but let me indicate you, human beings are all very political. Even those dissidents and the partners, they have their own agenda. So they're not cooperating. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's a very sad because there is no. This time, what did you learn from war in Ukraine? What is your lesson so far from Ukraine?
For my
Observation, the war.
My observation, of course, it is it's definitely, you know, it is the conflict between two ideologies. You know, the Russian is still authoritarian and a lot of
Authoritarian communism.
leftist ideology, even though they say election, but it's not really democratically processed, you know.
Right, you're right.
Putin is a dictator. If Russian has free and fair election, they might change a new leader. But Putin did not allow them. He's dictating. So his ideology, the Russian ruler ideology, are still leftist. They could not able to go with the liberal ideology. And Ukraine is pretty much a liberal ideology. They elected every 5 years. So, I mean, they did free and fair, and people are absolutely support their leader. They committed for democracy, liberal democracy, not like Russia, you know. Russia people are not overwhelmingly supporting Putin regime, but Ukraine people overwhelmingly supporting the Ukraine leaders. So that is totally two group ideology. That is conflict, and Russia want to influence the geopolitical by force, by gun. But you know, liberal ideology is influenced by ideology, you know, not by force, not by gun.
Right.
So this is two competition. So let's see, using force can success or without force success. We can see in Ukraine case.
Right. It's a very good observation, and I think it's fundamentally that's the reason why Putin tried to gobble up annex Ukraine. But for me, the biggest lesson is that a lot of people didn't know much about Ukraine. They think they all speak Russian, they're part of Russian, but they do have their own ethnic, cultural, historic identity. And for the first time, I really see a country that doesn't have a lot of money,
Yeah.
a lot of industry, but they are united. If you look at the news report, tennis players, models, singers, everybody going back home to fight. And the president was offered the airplane to evacuate because Putin will try to kill him. But he said, I don't want the airplane. I want your support. So
Yep.
I had a lot of Zoom meeting with the Ukraine government members, and I was very impressed. This country is small and now suffering, but I think they have a bright future. They have a solidarity.
Yeah.
Not many people saying, this stupid president, because of you, we are dead. Nobody says that. So I think that's the biggest lesson I learned.
But
After this conflict, Ukraine will emerge as a new victorious winner. And this
yeah,
is the beginning of the end of Putin.
let's see, because we still don't know how much Russia is going to be aggressive, because even, we cannot predict dictator,
I
they,
know.
they can even willing to do all kind of cruelty. Even they might use nuclear at the end. I mean, dictator, we cannot predict, they don't care. It's not difficult for them to do that.
Right.
That we cannot know. So
Right.
we still have to pray and see
Yeah.
that the last, this kind of terrible disaster should not happen. And my view is the Ukraine leader, he was the background of a comedian, a kind
No,
of
I know him very well.
artist, but
Yeah.
he may a little bit lack of politic knowledge, because he should know the Russian are aggressive, and he should prepare a little bit more than that to avoid such kind of conflict. I mean, he should
No,
also know.
actually, Zelensky was very smart, and he requested a lot of support.
Yeah.
But NATO and US was very slow. They didn't
I
want
mean,
to.
that's
Yeah.
why politicians should know that NATO position and European. He
Yeah.
should know
Sure.
that will happen. NATO and European will not be ready whenever they want. He
Right.
should know. So he should be, he should kill time for something like bargaining to avoid such kind of conflict. And but he also a little bit, I mean, and he is more about too much capitalist style. The bad thing of capitalism is that thing. Whenever you are too aggressive capitalist business, people are a little bit, people can easily angry, or people can a little bit want to, to make any problem. Because during World War, because Hitler, German, that's also Jewish capitalists, I mean, they are doing right, their own profit they are making, but sometimes surrounding people, they don't want to see such kind of capitalists if you are doing too much.
Because they are very good merchants.
Yeah, I mean, that's right, but we have to be, aware. We need to be aware, because
But if you're talking about capitalism, Putin is the worst capitalist, because he has a palace and he doesn't work, and he lives like a king. In any way, Ukraine story is too much.
yes,
We will see. But my prediction is that the end result is that Putin somehow will negotiate and then will withdraw because the supply chain is getting dried out. Soldiers do not want to fight. Morale is very important. It's like last days of Hitler. So that's the dead issue. But
actually, my position is I don't agree from the beginning without preparing or without clear digestion about your goal. That's I'm telling. Even Suu Kyi is liberal. Her party member, many of them are not liberal. Many of them are still remain leftists, and they are not clearly digest. Even though many elected people, they are not clearly digest. They just become elected because of Suu Kyi appointed or their party appointed. Many of them are not intellectual, not necessary. Because Suu Kyi can bring along with her if she has power. But out of her, at the absence of her, can they go by themselves? That's big thing. Suu Kyi did not foresee that. That's the thing in Burma right now. Problem is not really interested to be part of the exile government, or I don't also want to be military, paramilitary government. Because I'm clear ideology. I have liberal ideology. I have clear digest democracy. If Burmese people want to build democracy, I can do that. But without clear ideology, I don't want to involve, because military, even they say they are going to change democracy, not really. They don't have clear digest, and their position is they are not going to change democracy. They want to hold power, and they just want to show the name of democracy. That I'm not interested. That is their intention. The military government right now they are doing. They said they are going to change to democracy. And NUG, the opposition government, even though they say they are democratic, but they are not clear liberal ideology. This is another problem. And that's why their policy are always uncertainty and infeasible. It's not feasible. Why many, maybe you met many people or many prominent people in America or anywhere. Why they fail again and again, It's not the first time. Because they don't have clear ideology and their strategy are not feasible. It's not matched with liberal ideology.
Do you think Asian countries can have a really beautiful liberal democracy? Look at India, look at Thailand, look at Laos, look at Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia. Other than Singapore, Singapore is also controlled society. Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Do you think any country of this can have a full liberal democracy? And I have a strong doubt, maybe not.
My point is the leader, or if you want to be a leader, or if you want to be democratization prominent leader, or you want to be activist, you have to digest. That is my point.
Look at the Aung San Suu Kyi's case, because she was exiled and tortured and house arrested, and finally she got the job. And when she got the job, she didn't do very well because she had so much obstacles. But at the same time, if you're given a one chance, I will do very different way. But I was very disappointed because I supported her too.
Yeah, she was maybe there are something. That's why I pointed last time. She may have some mistake. She did not prepare. I'm telling several times.
I mean,
She did not
I am a
prepare.
woman. Yeah, I am a woman, but staying at our house and putting some flowers and then drinking tea, and that's all good. But when you are in the politics, it's a brutal, bloody politics. You
Yeah,
really have to fight
yeah,
to create some space for the democracy. But she didn't fight, and then she is now eaten up by the military.
yeah.
So my hope is that
That's right.
Burma, I don't know, Burma and North Korea, Syria, Belarusia, and
Yeah.
then the Soviet Union and Russia, I don't see any hope.
Suu Kyi is different from her father in terms of capacity. Her father has clear democracy and he has capacity how to manage the military.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
That's different with her father.
Yeah.
So Suu Kyi lack is she did not prepare with military things.
Yeah. I mean,
Did not
it's like
prepare
if you look at that from the U.S., I said you are going to fight these bloody militaries, and you gotta be really holding guns of your own guns, fighting to protect your turf, your democracy, either death or life. But she didn't do that. So
Yes.
I think that's maybe because she's a woman, maybe because she was exiled too long, and she maybe thinks she's a symbol of democracy. But symbol is not important here. When you are elected, you should act.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my point on Burma, and I'm focusing on North Korea, and you focus on Burma.
Yeah.
So
Let me share about Suu Kyi. One thing is she trusts too much upon the people. Whenever she talk, everything is depend on people. Everything is depend on people. So whatever we do, everything is depend on people. I mean, it is true, but technically it's something different. When you deal with dictator and military, we cannot just simply easily say everything is people. Because
she was a stupid, more stupid than I thought. If
that's
she's
what happened. That's what happened.
yeah.
Military doesn't care people at all. That's
Look
what
at
happened.
Merkel. Look at Germany's Merkel and all these great female leaders. She did not act like a human woman. She was just like a man. She was sitting with all these male leaders and pounding and drinking beer and then talking about politics because she has a brain.
Yeah.
If you think that these people I can trust because they are very nice now, give me a break.
And the other thing is, Suu Kyi rely on her party member, top leader or very senior party member. She think her party leader, colleague may be able to manage military or something like that. She just rely on them, in my view. And as I told you, unfortunately, many of them are not faithful.
Yeah.
Not faithful with her.
Politics.
If that or left some time very bloody issue, they run away. Many of them are unfaithful.
Right.
That is one thing. There are many factors it can be. We can make hypotheses. But yeah, Suu Kyi has, we can say definitely she has mistake. She did not prepare.
So as I said, if a military dictatorship or any dictator rules a country 50 years, you need at least a double up that time to clean up that bad act and history. And Burma is still not yet that point. And
Yes.
and North Korea, of course, even has not started at all. So it's even darker situation than Burma.
Total isn't different from North Korea and Burma. Burma case maybe Burmese people has at least show up. They are willing for democracy.
Right. No, in North Korea, if you show up, you go.
So North Korea case is totally different. They
It's
are
a totalitarian.
totally under control. Burmese case, at least the people, they show up. They
Exactly.
protest.
Yeah.
They
No.
they fight.
Burma is about 10 times better than North Korea.
Yeah, it may be. But the problem is Burmese majority Buddhist, you know, and Buddhist people and those ethnic Burman, the biggest ethnic group in the mainland. Most of them are, you know, they are leftist ideology, either communist or either socialist. That is very disappointment, even though they agree democracy. But, you know, for a long time, that is problem. Why
Yeah.
I keep telling ideology, leftist and liberal? Because in Burmese experience, many they say democracy, but in a long time, if you make policy, long time policy, you have to definitely consider those factors. Otherwise, you cannot go to the point. You cannot reach the point. That's why I want to suggest you is whoever want to be leader in Burma, they should purely digest liberal ideology, leftist ideology. Only then you can make proper policy and long-term policy.
Yeah.
You may see also last time my presentation, I mentioned your Christian state and Buddhist state. Only a few Christian states. These are secure for liberal democracy. I mean, compared to the Buddhist state, Buddhist population, because those leftist ideology are changeable, you know. They can easily change to the leftist, to Buddhist or to military. It's changeable. If you see social sign, it's changeable, you know, easily. But if you are Christian background and those ethnic, those are not easily changeable to the whatever military side or leftist or communist side. So for long-term policy making in Burma, we need to consider this factor, and then we can make proper policy. Otherwise, it's better US or any European doesn't support anything without any clear ideology and clear policy. And for Burma case, we cannot immediately change, as you said. There is no hope for immediately change for democratization. Only we have to do for long time plan. For long time plan, we have to consider that.
Yeah, it takes a long time. I mean, even America is today have a lot of trouble. So it takes a long time, and liberal democracy idea. And right now we are appointing a new Supreme Court judge. She's the first Black judge, and she's qualified, decent, smart. But all the mayor Republicans try to destroy her. They don't care about the real quality of a human being. They only care about the party politics. And the party politics is very dirty. And it's a very sad.
But my personally, I'm not much critic for Republican or Democratic, you know. In my
So I'm
my point of view, I don't care, I don't mind either liberal, Republican or Democratic. I mean, they both are liberal, democratic society. I mean, in my point of view, but some internal politics it may be different.
yeah,
But
very different. Very different.
for us, for overseas, for promoting democracy, both party are useful because they have a mature liberal society, you know.
Right, right.
So that I don't mind both party in that case. And the other thing is we can build liberal society in Asia, like that in South Korea, in Japan, in Taiwan, Philippines, Singapore, even though many of them are, all of them are not supporting liberal, but there are certain people exist in those many countries. So we can organize very, you know, solidly all these liberal society in Asian region, there can be a power, and which regional power we can support each one in different Asian country. That is one of we can do strategy. Based on that strategy, American can also support. We can cooperate with America, Western country, Europe country, and that Asian liberal society can. They will be exactly going to do. It cannot changeable. If you are very strong liberal society in Asia, they cannot easily change to the leftist or other thing. It won't be. But without those society, you just rely on some country or some group, whoever say democracy, that is not reliable. You don't know. They will change tomorrow or they will change next year. You don't know. But
Right.
we should build permanent liberal society in Asia. That is my point.
Good. Hopefully that before I die, I could see the liberal democratic Burma.
I mean, there are society in Burma, liberal society.
I know.
But we could not change the whole country. So
exactly. Yeah.
My goal is, even we cannot change the country, we should build at least liberal society with the state level or with the district level.
Whether educate through your writing, through your intellectual analysis, you can educate them to learn about liberal democracy.
Of course.
Yeah. That's very good. That's what I do. I mean, I talk to the North Koreans, basically saying that, Americans are not the war criminals, but the Americans are Christians. They can help you. You can be living a happy life.
Of course.
And so sometimes, hopefully, my voice is going through the North Korean mind. But it's a tough job.
Even though not national level, we can at least build state level and district level in each country. In South Korea, even we can build national level, South Korea population, many of them are liberal. At least half population, more than majority.
Well, the Korean cases of liberal and conservative is all lost the meaning. It's all lost the meaning because it's not a traditional political science meaning. South Korean progressives are actually pro-North Korea, pro-China, and they are actually close to the socialists. So you have to be